Hello everyone. Well, following on that example of using parasitic wasps at Blickling Hall, we're now moving on to hear from Stephan Biebl about experience of using parasitoid wasps in Germany over the last 10 years. And this paper will be followed by a recorded paper taking us up to the Q&A on silverfish. But over to Stephan to hear about the wasp usage in Germany. Stephan.
Yeah, thank you, Nigel. Hi, everybody over the world, and thank you first very much for the Pest Odyssey committee and also the technical support for the organization and for accepting my paper. Over 100 years ago, my forefathers, my family, started business with pest control in Munich, Germany. 20 years ago, I attended my first Pest Odyssey conference in London. It was so nice. 10 years ago, with Pascal Guerna, we made our first poster about parasitoid wasps in London. And now I'm sitting here with all the experts for over the world, and we are talking about museums pests again. That's great. What will I say today? The history and development of biological control and overview, use of parasitoid wasps today, an overview of common parasitoid wasps. What kind of wasps do we have? Thank you here for Hillary for the first speech before. I haven't seen it yet, but I will do. A practical example for the successful use of parasitoid wasps as IPM at the Deutsches Museum Verkehrszentrum in Munich, and the conclusions. The history and development of biological control. 1888. It is called the first use of the ladybirds Novius cardinalis in California. So many of these ladybirds were let free and helped the people to fight against the pests in California. So 1974, biological control of insect pests with natural enemies is written by de Bach, the 70s. And so 2010, a nice colleague from Germany, Olaf Zimmermann, wrote about trichogramma wasps against closest moths. And 2016, we got a European standard of IPM with one part release of parasitoids. I will show you a slide afterwards. And 2019, the standard for pest control in Germany describes also biological methods in the TRNS. So my first, in the beginnings, my first experience was about 2006 with the tapestries in Berchtesgaden. It's in the south of Germany. And this was my first experience with the parasitoid wasp Aphanteles, and against the big, the first of the big five of the museum's pest, webbing clothes moths. You see a little bit heater under this and packing outside. It was a little bit cold there. And here, in the past, we used from my colleagues from Berlin parasitoid wasp in film boxes. The next experience was in the Deutsches Museum Flugwerft Schleißheim. This is another bench of the German museum in Munich, and also contaminated with webbing clothes moths. We used the same parasitoid. Some years later, we used in an archive parasitoid wasps against the drugstore beetle, Stegomium paniceum, with a release 3 times with 40 plastic tubes. These are the newer one, not more film boxes, with 30 wasps, in total 3,600 wasps. So you always need many wasps to fight against the pest. What about the use of parasitoid wasps today? I've looked for the international publications. 2011, it was the poster in London. ResearchGate said about 2013 from Schoeller Brotzel about biological control. So in the 2000 years, we got some descriptions also in the IPM book from David Binninger, and we heard about from Judith Auer about the braconid wasps against food boring. And the international press 2001 was full with many informations about Blickling hole. These are the technical rules and standards for pest control in Germany, and we have some parasitoids and pirate bugs and nematodes against different pests. Here you can see some parasitoids like egg and larval parasitoids against textile moths, and predatory bugs against material damage beetles, and wasps against the wood boring beetle on the right side. Some impressions. Trichogramma is mostly used, and you see the card and front side and back side, and when you clap down, you can see the stereocytes, moth's eggs, and the wasp is just 0.4 millimeter. Another parasitoid wasps are to fight against the larvae from the moths. You can use 3 different enemies like Aprobracon evitor. Here I will show you the example we have done a long time now in the Deutsches Museum Verkehrszentrum in Munich. It's built in 1908. You can see a lot of nice cars and trains and other things. And you see that all the vehicles or the cars are in 3 halls. It's about 12,000 square meter, and with about 257 historic and new objects inside. So it started 2007 with 1 vehicle. It was a webbing close moth infestation at the Mercedes Simplex. You see it on this size, on this slide. Was controlled with anoxia, but it's very expensive to control all the cars with anoxia. It's a big thing. So I successed the museum to use parasitoid wasps. So we started 2007 with these green cards. But nowadays, in the first time we have thought about, we use a lot of them, but nowadays it's just 1 card inside the car. Here you see the back side of the car. We use 1 card with trichogrammas, professional for the car, and 1 pheromone trap to make the monitoring. And here you see the long-term damage by the webbing close moths. The results nowadays in 2020, we started 2007 with 789 moths in 33 objects. This is about 23 or 24 moths per vehicle. And we reduced it in the first years, and nowadays we got 0.8 moths per vehicle. So some of the vehicles of the cars are free of moths, and another one you see 1 moth about. And you see the little black point on this card, on this monitoring pheromone trap. And these small points are the trichogramma wasps, very tiny.
5 minutes, Stephan.
Thank you. And you see here the figure with 2007. We got many webbing close moths, and was mostly in the summertime. Is 2 times per year mostly. And 2008 the situation was better, but nowadays we are very happy to have so less moths inside, and we use no chemicals and other solutions like anoxia, since 2007. Just only trichogramma wasps. Beside, we found a infestation discovered in a wardrobe area. It was not seen, but it was cleaned. This is cleaning and housekeeping. We found this source here. We tried also 2011 Exosec SP tabs. We heard about it, Blickling Hall, but I was not very happy with this. We used it 1 year, and it was just 1 year, a trial. With Woody Blurry, I have always a good conversation about outdoor trials. What about, or Pat Cayley also, what about webbing close moths outside the buildings? So we make evidence of webbing close moths in the urban area of Munich and found some closest moths on this trap outside in a electricity. But you see the open doors, it could be also flying outside. My conclusions: long-time control with trichogramma wasps show good results against webbing close moths. Biologic control is an important tool to prevention for cultural heritage, but control with natural enemies do not reach 100% mortality. That's clear, I think. But and the training for staff is important to know about the correct use of the wasps. You can make some faults in the winter time, for example. And for invasive pests like the long-tail silverfish, we require new separate parasitoids in the future, I think. So at the end, I will thank you for all the years, for the long time years, for the Deutsches Museum in Munich and Biologische Beratung in Berlin. And at the end, thank you very much for your attention. And look at this nice car from 1886. That's worth to protect against the pests. And if you come to my page, Museum Schädling, it's okay. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you, Stephan. That was fascinating. And I hope you'll be able to join us for the Q&A. In just a couple of minutes, we'll be going on to Pascal's next paper. So that will be a pre-record. So please refresh your screens for the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you also.